Baker with Baker DMM, and this is our video digest newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is going to be the problem with the traditional business model. And before I jump into our discussion, I'll read you a statistic. And it's from the Merrill Lynch Journal of Caregiving case study that came out in December 2017. And it stated that in an interview of over 2,000 individuals, 41% of respondents say they entered the role of financial caregiver suddenly. And that really ties into what we're going to talk about today. And that it actually, back in December, I was talking to an individual, a woman who worked with an insurance company, about my health insurance, and one thing led to another, and we kind of just started talking about all sorts of things. And I told her about Baker DMM and how we help people that are aging and people with disabilities with daily money management. And then she went on to tell me about her previous role at a big, huge bank based in the United States, and she'd worked there for over 12 years. And really, kind of like the statistic states that 41% of people are kind of suddenly thrown into financial caregiving. What we talked about was really that the traditional business model, particularly with the big banks, is that it's not set up to really adequately help and closely monitor and assist people that are in need. And that would be like your people that are older, people that are aging, people that can't get around like they used to, that are more confined to their home, or people with disabilities. And with the traditional business models that are in place where they have the customer come to them, and now we're having an aging population, and it's going to have to reverse and change, because as the Merrill Lynch study stated, 41% of people are suddenly thrust into the role of caregiving. Well, if you're suddenly thrust into the role of caregiving and you have a loved one who lives in a different city, a different state, different part of the country, and you don't have adequate time to prepare to go help them or to be there for them, and particularly if they don't have the right legal documentation in place, hopefully you and your loved ones have all those documents in place, your standard durable power of attorney, an advanced health directive, and then of course a will. But it just really makes the matters complex if you don't live near them, and you're not able to get to them, and you're suddenly thrust into this role. Well, now these people don't have a caretaker near them to help them. And then with the traditional business models that are really going to have to change in the near future, and this isn't just banking, I mean, this is many industries, many different types of industries are going to have to shift and rethink how they serve their older clients. Because now you have a business model where they typically have the customer come to them, and now you have someone who is now vulnerable, who is going through some sort of health issue, whether it's physical or cognitive, and now they're not going to be able to get to that bank, or they're not going to be able to get to that other business. And they don't have a caregiver who's there to directly help them. And that's the challenge that we all face, whether we're the person aging, whether we're the financial caregiver for that person, or even if we're the business that serves that particular customer and client. And that's where Baker DMM comes in, to be that additional resource from a financial caregiving standpoint. Particularly in the Atlanta community right now, we're here to be that resource for our clients and for the people that we're assisting. And hopefully as time goes by and on down the road, we'll be able to expand and be in many different parts of the country at some point, at some place or time or another, to be able to be that resource. And in the meantime, if we're not in that market, hopefully if you do some research, you can find other businesses that are similar to Baker DMM. And if you can be there, for your loved one or your parent or whoever that may be that you're trying to help, hopefully you can be there for them. And then if not, at least you've done the research to find, either if you're in Atlanta, a company like Baker DMM, or if you're in a different community, finding other companies that are similar in nature that can provide that daily money management, financial caregiving assistance in case you need it or your loved one needs it. So this was really important video. It's about most of the people out there, almost half, get thrusted into these financial caregiver roles very suddenly, and you just have to be aware that You want to make sure you're doing pre-planning with your loved ones. Make sure you have all of your legal documents set up, and just be aware that at the current moment in time, a lot of the bigger businesses out there are not set up to really be going to the client. Your traditional banker, big business, they're not going to go get in their car and drive to mom or dad or grandma and grandpa to check on them to make sure that their bills are being paid, and that if there's any issues with their accounts. You're going to have to either be doing it yourself, or you're going to have to hire a company like a Baker DMM to be able to do that and help you with it. So hopefully you go out and you do this research and you get prepared, so there are no surprises if and when you ever need to help your loved ones. So if you found this video interesting or helpful, please feel free to share it on all your social media channels. This could be with your family, your friends, or whoever you think might benefit from viewing the information. If you'd ever like for us to answer one of your questions in our newsletter, go to our website, www.bakerdmm.com, scroll to the bottom, fill out your information, write a few sentences about your question. We'll try to answer that in one of our upcoming newsletters. And if you ever like to get my help directly and personally, go to our website. At the top of the page, you'll find our phone number, as well as a request an appointment button. And if you'd like to book a phone consulting session, scroll to the bottom, click on the PayPal button, enter your information. And with any of these options, I'll be in touch with you in 24 to 48 hours to confirm and schedule our appointment. And until then, I will talk to you all soon.